What's up folks, Fuzz here, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another FIFA 23 custom tactics video for you, and we're going to be taking a look at the 4-2-2 again. We did post this about a month or so ago, but the meta has changed, how the game plays in general has changed, so we're going to take another look at it, and I think you're going to like it because it offers a very nice, balanced, unique playstyle. This is the team we're using for it. We're not going to waste any time. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button if you're around here, and let's dive into the 4-2-2-2 custom tactics for FIFA 23. So I set it up in my ultra defensive, as I say every time. This does not matter. Count this as 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have your most defensive setting on the ultra attacking. It doesn't make a difference. Say 4-2-2. We're going to be playing balanced, and we're going to be playing balanced, and we're going to play direct passing. Are you surprised? Probably not, because we played it every single bloody day of this FIFA 23. It's the only way to effectively play right now. It'd be nice to see them open things up a bit and offer different metas, but it is what it is. We're playing balanced right passing again. On the defensive side of things, we're going to play 42 width and 50 depth. Change things around a little bit. I have always been an advocate of heavy depth. I decided to go right down the middle this time, right down the middle, and see what it was going to be like. And then the width, I've went for 42. So far, I'm sort of in between 30 and 40 for the defensive width. I know 42 is not too much over the top in that regard, but it is a change. And then we're going to run the 47 width on the players because it's a fairly well balanced system. We've got two defensive midfielders, two cams, but they're not outer cams, so we can't avoid this being too narrow and people getting sort of caught together. So I think anywhere between 47 and 53 is kind of the sweet spot. In regards to personnel, like back four, self-explanatory. You want two fullbacks, one more defensive minded, in this case Dumfries, and then one who can get forward. But you want, ideally, them both to have the ability to pass the ball. You want two defensive midfielders, one that has more ability to pass the ball, be a bit of a playmaker in the middle of the pitch, and then four attackers of your choice. You can have two traditional cams, two traditional strikers. You can use wingers in the cam spots. You can run three wingers and a striker. Like, it's whatever you fancy in this regard. Over on the instructions, I kept Onana on balanced default. Actually, he seemed to play pretty well, pretty nicely this time. This one's always personal preference if you want super keeper or comes or crosses on. The defenders you don't touch at all, sorry, the centre backs you don't touch at all, but you do change stuff on the other defenders, the wide men, the full backs. Dumfries, for example, is going to be stay back while attacking and overlap. This is a pretty consistently good way to run at least one full back this year. And then the left back side of things is going to be join the attack, overlap, and step up. So they're going to be very aggressive, and then this plays into how you want to set up the defensive midfielders. So because your left back is going to be joining the attack, overlap, and step up, and I always say you can flip this, and technically you can, but for this system particularly, try to keep it identical to this. Your left defensive midfielder then is going to be stay back while attacking, man mark, and cover centre. Now they are in cover centre, so they're not necessarily going to pick up the space that's left by Goossens, but they are going to be staying back. They're going to be man marking any free man there. So what does play into this, although they're cover centre, if the person they need to mark goes to the left hand side of Alaba, they will follow them on the mark side of things. So on the man mark side of things, and then obviously if he goes centrally, he'll follow. Alaba pushes out left. That then creates a back four, but with like a midfield ball player that's not exactly in line with the defense, slightly further up, which creates a passing opportunity if you need to recycle play. And then you're going to do drop between defenders, cut pass lane, and cover center on the other defensive midfielder. Now, I can tell you, they don't drop between the defenders every single time. I saw also aggressive interceptions. Really keen to win the ball back. Benacer was fantastic for this. Won the ball back a bunch. The drop between defenders is essentially just a way. I found more so some build-up suggestions you need it. So it's a way to also push, ultimately what it is honestly, is a way to push these fullbacks forward a little bit more, especially Goossens, who's on the overlap. He essentially plays how a left midfielder would in the likes of a 3-5-2 in this system, while still having the stability of a fullback with two central midfielders, which makes it insanely good. Again, on the left hand side of things, with your left back going forward, you're going to have your left attacking midfielder on come back on defense, aggressive interceptions, and get into the box or cross. So you still want them to get forward. They're still going to be aggressive to win the ball back, but they are going to be on come back on defense. And this is essentially in case Goossens has bombed it all the way up, or your left back's bombed it all the way up and played across and have got into the box while they're tracking back in the cat at your left attacking mid. He's going to be coming back on defense anyway and filling in that space in the meantime. Helps you be a little bit more like solid on the defensive side of things. And the right attacking mid is stay forward, get into the box for cross. And we've gone for drift wide. And the reason for that is, although Dumfries is on overlap, he is going to stay back while attacking. So he's not going to be getting forward quite as much. Goossens is going to bomb forward, which means there's space for Nakata to drift into like the middle of the play a little bit. And then Gyasi, rather than having everyone static in the center of the pitch, putting them on drift wide just means that they can sometimes get a good sort of one-on-one with a fullback or a wing-back and find space, which I find quite often. Honestly, putting them on drift wide as a cam I found him, obviously he's a right-sided cam, I found him splitting a lot of gaps between the centre-back and what would be the left-back. So maybe that's a little trick with this drift wide. You get that extra little bit of space to penetrate through, but worked very well for me. And our striker setup is how we always go. We've got one on stay forward, one stay central, and getting behind. This is our main strikers trifecta basically in every single system. And then the right striker is just purely getting behind. As usual, this is the PSC guy who's going to sort of interlink. You don't want to put them on like a false 9 setup because then they don't get in behind as much. And false 9 can be good for this system because it essentially creates a hybrid of a 4-2-2 and a 4-2-3-1. But with how we're playing it, with like the left back bombing forward with the drop between and the stay back on the midfielders, and obviously you might look at that and see drop between defenders and stay back. I think it's defensive. Far from defensive, just a very solid balanced system. Just getting behind on him, and boom, that is the instructions and the custom tactics. And now let's have a look at some gameplay. So first up, we have a 2-0 rage quit. This one was very much me getting the ball in the transition and building up. You can see Nakata out wide. Obviously, this was very quick. This was right at the start of the game. The team shifted into the shape. We'll just go for the whole build up. I've changed into the tactics here right off the bat before kickoff even happens. So we're going to slowly transition into it. You can see Benacer, that's dropped between defenders. Over an extra passing lane. Duncan sits a little bit forward. Does create almost like a 4-back. Benacer, you can see, does step up from the defenders though. So he's between the defenders, but he's a little bit more advanced. So it's not creating a 3-back. It's a 2-back with like an extra layer of protection. And then if you're wondering for the defensive shape, it's a very traditional 4-back system. Gusens has stepped up there, but you have your 4 players back. You have Benacer and Duncan protecting. This is Cage on the little 3-ball. I went for the guaranteed goal by playing it across, but that is this like shortcut alone shows fantastic way. So let's go for the first goal again with Benacer and how he acts in the build up. So see, as I say, we transition the build up here. Benacer, as soon as it recognizes to go into the system, you can see 24 in the middle of the screen. He just sort of slits in this little position. Duncan is on stay back slightly ahead of him. And then once we get the passes going, I've not sent him on attack or anything, but you can see as we get forward on the attack, this is currently creating like a back 4 line again. Gusens advancing, Alba basically plays left back, and Duncan still sits and protects, and he's on man mark. Obviously that's defensive behaviour, so not on play right now. But you see Benacer starts to run here on the right hand side of the screen. Now he's going to cut it off, but he's stepping up further than what the 2 centre backs are, while Duncan's still in the stay back position. So essentially it's going to guarantee you, as far as he goes, he's at the edge of the D, just there. He is just at the edge of the D, and then obviously the 2 centre backs are still like sort of near the halfway line. So it's creating, you can see it's like a little triangle there. Dumfries on the far hand side, your right back. Gusens is pushed up, but it almost guarantees it. If I lose the ball here and get hit on a counter attack, 1, he's in the middle of the pitch on aggressive interception, higher chance of winning the ball back, and 2, if we're having the track back, we actually have like a 4-back setup that's easily sort of slotted into, within Gusens tracking back to make a 5-back while still playing a 4-2-2. So you're really pulling pros and cons from a lot of different systems. Here we've got another goal, and I think this gives it possibly a good example. This is Gusens winning the ball back. He's on step up actually. This will be good to show. So we've won the ball back here. Sorry, not the ball back. He's a free kick, but manually I'm going to step Gusens up. He's naturally happy to fill into that space anyway when you're playing, and he's going to just keep going. He's on join the attack now. Dreadful pass by Forlan. I don't know what the execution was there from in game. Well, obviously we're losing a little bit of possession here. We managed to win the ball back. This is actually loud as shit as well. I just won the ball back. Now we're going to play a little 1-2 with Chiesa and Yase. So this is the play here. Going to wait, and then play the 3-ball as he's going. He beats the man one-on-one. Just keep driving into the box, We cut that across, and then the cat, our left attacking midfielder, is there. So say he's on come back on defense and whatnot, but he still gets into the box for us, right on the edge of the box here. And you can see, even just looking at my back, my minus 10 seconds, reverse 10 seconds here, that red dot is Gusens, and then at the top of the pitch you can see Dumfries. And then so essentially where I'm looking at now with my mouse, that's Dumfries, right centre back. Benacer sat between them, and then Alba. Duncan has got all the way up here, so he's on stay back while attacking, but he's just sort of lingering in the middle of the pitch. And then Gusens is down at the 10. So that's essentially the sort of shape you can expect in a counter attack and how it's going to play. So you can easily see how if you need it to try and like shift the play, you can do so. And that was a nice little finish, right? He caught that. We had a goal from one hero, and then we get another. This is Duncan picking the ball up, and again sending Gyasi. Now he's on just drift wide, and this is the case that he pulled the player out, and I'm taking it back 10 seconds to show it. The opponent here does pull the player out, which helps, but he just picks up that slightly different space where when you're playing those diagonal balls, even with someone stepping up, they're not guaranteed to win it back. Again, can't just keep driving. We had a goal from one hero, we get a goal from another. This is Forlan. You can see we had two players in the box supporting, Nakata catching up at the edge of the box. with Goossens in and also getting forward. And this is going to be the third and final goal. We're going to let it run through. We played it to Dumfries, who actually want to drive this time. This time we send an L1 pass to get him going forward. So as I say, they are an overlap and we are keen to get them forward. We go for the little cross ball in. Forlan, I wanted him to header it, but he controls it down and scores. But this is a really good example of how you can attack with players who are set to stay back. So we picked the ball up. Forlan played very much as a central maker, but we get Dumfries here and we're keen to get him going. And we can see, even just glancing the pitch, I didn't at the time, but if you're aware enough, you can look and see we've got more than enough defensive shape here. There's 3 players back holding space. Duncan sat there. The cat is going to get forward. What I will note is whenever you have either Benacer going forward or Dumfries, so this is your right defensive midfielder or your right back, Duncan, who's your left defensive midfielder, who's on stay back, naturally sits a little bit deeper. So the AI recognizes that the space is there. They naturally sit that little bit deeper. Nice little dink ball across. And we score, and that rounds off the gameplay. Honestly, it was a pretty quick gameplay round this time, but honestly, this system is really good. It's hard to pick flaws at it. Essentially, like many systems, if you pull people out aggressively, you're going to get punished for it. If you make like, the small mistakes defensively, you're going to get punished for it. But there's no glaring downside to this issue, really. Maybe if someone notices that you're sending your left back forward so aggressively all the time, despite a sort of a line for cover with your left attacking midfielder and your left defensive midfielder, maybe they try to target that, but that's really the only thing. So you should be absolutely flying with this system. So guys, that's the custom tactics. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. It's always great getting that feedback. If you got the extra wins and rivals, the extra wins to get an extra set of rewards and foot champs, maybe you up a division with this, or maybe you manage to apply these in a draft. For example, you've picked this formation and you put on these tactics. So always let me know the feedback down below. It's greatly appreciated. It's great to see everyone succeeding and getting more wins. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. We're ever so close to 2,000 subscribers, so all the help on that journey is greatly appreciated. And we'll catch you in the next squad building video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.